What is up? What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Talkative. I'm your host, Jason Martinez. I hope you guys are doing well in this Thursday morning. We're back for more. This is now episode 8. We're 2 episodes away from double digits, so that's really exciting for me and pretty much for the rest of the show in general. And everyone that's been supporting it. Once again, I can't stress this enough. Thank you guys. Even if the support is really small, it goes a long way. But we're back for more, and to start off, this is going to be a rather short episode, shorter than others. I know we've had short episodes in the past, but this topic for today's episode is gonna come directly from the mind, from the heart, because it's something that I've been going through recently in in the terms of content creation and doing this type of stuff. And it's something that a lot of content creators tend to go through a lot during their careers and their time within this space. And that is the mental block of creator's block, or not knowing what direction you want to take creatively, or if you want to just scrap ideas because you think these ideas won't work out. And pretty much this has been happening to me recently where I feel like I have this gut feeling where I'm like, okay, I've uploaded plenty of episodes and talked about plenty of topics. And let me just elaborate on this. Tech is a giant field, and there's a lot that you could talk about within tech. But if it's not something that you feel personally, to the heart, that you feel is it going to be worth a conversation or is it going to be worth an episode, then that's just your gut feeling. You gotta trust your gut and say, you know what, man, maybe this won't work. And then that's when the creative block kicks in because you don't know what's gonna work, and you yourself can't think of anything within that given moment because you've entered this block, this mental block where you can't ideate, you can't think of any process, you can't think creatively and move forward. And when it comes to content creation, that happens a lot, and it affects people for to me, I think it affects both negatively and positively. We're gonna start with the positives first. How can a mental block like this affect a content creator, especially starting off young, starting off small, in a positive way? I see it as maturity. I see it as a stage of maturing and as a time for you to recuperate and gather your thoughts and better your ideation process because you're giving yourself more time. You're not uploading episodes, you're not going through routine, you don't feel pressured in a way to get this episode out. Which, by the way, that's another thing too. That could be a topic for another day, but I'm just gonna say this. Never feel pressured to do anything, whether it's content creation or finding a certain job, doing a certain task, a certain whatever the case may be. Don't feel pressure, don't feel peer pressure. But in some cases, it happens because you stay committed. You want to have that high level of commitment and you want to make sure that you deliver. You want to make sure that you do your job as a content creator in whatever form it is, whether it's podcasting or video creation, streaming. You want to give it you want to give it your all. You want to give it your best, 110%. But never feel like you're pressured into doing this type of stuff because you're not. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. But back to the positives of this mental creator's block. It's a form of maturity. It gives you time to just rest, gather thoughts, better your ideation process, and overall better yourself as a content creator. Period. So that's one of the major positives when it comes to this type of blog. Take it as time for yourself. Even if you're not ideating, even if you don't like the ideas that you're coming up with, and you're not sticking with schedule, uploading videos, doing the job that you set yourself to do. Take it as a resting period or recuperation period. Now that's a major positive. Negative now. This is where this could affect you negative, and that is workflow, process, thought process, ideation process, work process. It could be a major setback, especially if you put so much effort and so much commitment to something, and this hits you, this creative block hits you, it sets you back because that's what it's been doing to me for the past, I want to say, week now. it's been setting me back because I do have a major routine with this podcast that I tend to follow. But this week, since I couldn't really think of any good topics or find any good topics that enticed me or that I think would be good topics to talk about, then I'm pretty much setting myself back a few days, a few routine days, and not doing what I'm supposed to. And that's a major negative. It interrupts a workflow. So, creative block for me, one of the biggest negatives is the interruption of workflow. And, when you're somebody that's very committed, when you're somebody that's consistent, that could be a major negative for that person because they want to keep working, they want to keep doing what they love doing in the forms of content creation. But because they can't think of good ideas, but because they say to themselves, maybe this won't work out, so let's just scrap this idea, it sets them back. So they either have to push back uploads, push back episodes, make an announcement to their community, their audience, that there will be no videos today because they just can't figure out what direction they want to take in a creative way. So yeah, I feel like creative block is a big setback when it comes to workflow and routine. And this happens to plenty of content creators, and I could speak for all of them. Well, I'm not gonna say all. Let's say most. I could speak for most content creators when I say that they've gone through this type of creative block and this mental block, and that it's affected them in a really negative way. But like I said, as the expression goes, you gotta take positives out of negatives, and I feel like having time for yourself to mature, having time for yourself to rest and recuperate, gather your thoughts is a good thing. Even if we're not talking about content creation or just life in general, I'm gonna go on a different tangent here in a second. Um, it's just a life moral. Give yourself time. Give yourself some time. You need it. Don't feel like you have to put every single time you have to just put in hours and put in that dedication and forget that you need to put in some time for you. Forget that you need to put in some care for yourself, the person who is the captain of the ship. You as a host of a podcast or as the creator of a channel, you are the captain of your own ship. If that captain falls, the entire ship falls with the captain. If you are not healthy, if you're not mentally healthy, physically healthy, because the workflow, the routine is killing you, you're not giving yourself enough time, then your channel, your podcast, your show becomes a sinking ship. Then the captain falls. Everything falls. So, you know, that's just a simple analogy to give you guys when it comes to that. We need to give ourselves time, which is why I find this creative block. That's one of the major positives that I find from it, or that I take from it, that it gives the creator, the person who's the host of whatever, some time to just grow and some time for themselves, because we need it. I mean, content creation, people look at content creation and they say, oh, look how easy of a job this is. You can just play video games for a living, you can just stream video games for a living, um talk in front of a screen for a few minutes, 35 minutes to 40 minutes, and then upload it and get a ton of views and get a lot of money. That's the broad aspect. That's what people see on the outside, but they don't know everything that goes on the inside. Planning, scheduling, entertaining, ideating, making sure everything is good. I mean, content creators, they all work with technology. If technology fails, whether it's through audio, video capturing, whatever, the platform that they're on, YouTube, Twitch, if anything fails, any bugs or glitches, crashes, everything is put on hold. Everything is paused. Everything is being set back. And it's a lot that goes on behind closed doors. A lot of stress, a lot of frustration, but most people don't understand that. They just see what's on the outside and they depict content creation as to what they see. Easy way to make money, a more lazy way to make money, and that's not true. That's not true because there's a lot that goes on behind closed doors. So, yeah, I just wanted to quickly, this is going to be like a shorter episode than a lot of episodes. I'm gonna, talk about something else here towards the end. Something that's been popular over the past few months, starting in January, or past few months rather. And then that's pretty much gonna be it. So I want to say maybe we're gonna cap today at like 15 minutes, if not 20. But yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on creator's block and just, all the stress that goes behind content creation, all the stress that I've been going through with these episodes. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. And just a word of advice for the people that don't really comprehend content creation or what goes on behind it. Just be accepting, be understanding, and be willing to learn. Don't be ignorant. Don't be ignorant and say stuff that I exclaimed like or that I said earlier, that they find content creation easy, that these people don't have real jobs, that this job isn't a real job. Just because we're not doing a job that requires hard labor or hard lifting doesn't mean that the job that we're doing now isn't a real job. Content creation is a real job. And it brings in a lot of mental stress, right? Physical labor jobs bring in a lot of physical stress. Content creation brings a lot of mental stress. So just be open to that, just be aware of that, just be open minded and don't be ignorant and say that content creation is a easy job, quote unquote, or that content creators have it easy, because they don't. They really don't. So I just wanted to put that out there. Yeah, that's like I said, this is gonna be a rather shorter episode. I'm just gonna talk about something else towards the end. And that is, I'm sure if you guys come across this episode, I'm sure you guys have heard of the word guessing game of the internet, and that is a Wordle. Now, Wordle is a game that was made from one creator, one developer, and pretty much what it is, take your traditional crossword puzzles, but make it in a word guessing format. But the way that this game works is rather interesting, and I've been enjoying it myself playing it recently. You have 6 attempts to guess the one word of the day. So every day there's a word that you have to guess right. So it's a daily word game. You can't play this multiple times. You play it once, and you win or lose. So you have 6 attempts to guess the one word. 5-letter words. Whatever 5-letter word that you type, if the letters in that word have a yellow square, that means that the letters in the word, but it's in the wrong spot to where you typed it. If the letter has a green square, that means that the letter is in the word and that letter is in the right spot from when you typed it. If the letters are blanked out completely, that letter is not included in the word at all. So it's fun. I mean, to be honest, I don't know. All right, let me just say this. I find this really funny. So playing the game recently, playing the game recently, I've been able to guess 2 words that were pretty much the hardest words to guess, and that was a lot, or a god, something like that. Something that means going up in the air, or lifting up in the air. I think aloft, something along those lines. And pleat, which has something to do with cloth and clothing and knitting and stuff. Pleat and aloft. I think those are the words. I was able to guess those words, but I couldn't guess the last 2 recent words, which was probably the 2 simpler words. And the reason being is because I was overthinking this. I mean, this is a game that requires a lot of intuitive thinking, critical thinking, but not overthinking. And I'm a big overthinker myself, and I say to myself, how am I able to guess the hardest words, man? But I can't guess the words that were in the game recently, which were skills and humor. So yes, I'm not ashamed to express that. I'm an overthinker. I'm a big overthinker. So just a funny thought to put out there. I don't know how I was able to, and I lost my streak. I was literally on a 3-day streak on Wordle, and I lost it. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna play today. You know, all luck goes to me. If I can't guess this word today, man, I might as well just quit Wordle. But no, jokes aside, yeah, a lot of people have been playing this game, and I find this game very interesting and very fun. You know, I think, to be honest, if you want me to be honest with you, this could be a game that could be introduced to like a fourth grader or a fifth grader in that level of reading, because they're pretty simple words. But I mean, the concept could be difficult for them, but I think kids could play Wordle. I mean, of course, at the right age, you can't play a toddler is not going to be able to play a game that's a little sophisticated, a little bit difficult, like Wordle. But I think like 8-year-olds and up could probably give Wordle a shot, and it could probably be really educational for them. So yeah, that's I find Wordle um very fun, very intuitive. It brings a lot of people together and very involving. So it's a very fun game. I've been enjoying it. It's been taking the internet by storm. As you guys may know, New York Times, biggest news blog or newsletter, bought Wordle. So they acquired Wordle for I think $2.9 billion, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, Wordle is probably going to be hidden between a account wall or a paywall," but no, they confirmed that Wordle's going to be staying free and that you won't be requiring an account to play the game. So, yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Just wanted to give my thoughts on Creator's Block and just talk a little bit about Wordle, what I thought about the game, and what my experience has been with Wordle. Again, I'm not ashamed to tell the truth. I've been overthinking literally the easiest words, but that's okay. It happens to the best of us. But that'll be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. 17 minutes. Like I said, it's going to be a rather shorter episode than others, but we'll be back next week with the second guest episode of the show for episode 9. So stay tuned. All right, you guys, take care and thank you for listening. Bye.